Some new PCBs have turned up for modifying RAM packs. They've got a fix for the, well, missing track. I had to put a bodge wire across there. Where is it? There it is. So there's a track there now between that pad and that hole. And the corner's missing as well. So I took that away because this IC here, it was just a little bit too far that way for the PCB to fit in there nicely. So now there's a cutout. Hopefully these will work a bit better and be a bit quicker as well to put together, because I don't have to put the bodge wire on there. I've also slimmed down some battery clips, so these are all much slimmer and will fit in the case. And I've also got a couple of victims here from Martin Reed. He's going to use these for database development for his quiz pack. He's going to develop some more databases, so I'm going to use these as victims and do the same modification I've done here. I've had a quick look and it looks like, even though the PCB is a different colour, it actually looks like the layout is the same, so hopefully this IC hasn't moved, although looking at it, it does. No, it is the same, so it seems to be in exactly the same position. Or maybe it is actually slightly that way, slightly. That's very strange, that, because there is a difference in the PCBs. There's a couple of wires there on the left hand side of the IC, whereas here you can only see one wire, and it may be that the IC is very slightly to the left of the one on top. I'm not really sure about that. I don't think so. So anyway, it doesn't really matter. There's plenty of room to take that corner off, and if the IC is further that way, well, that's fine. And I've made the cutout larger than it needs to be, so if the IC is further that way for some reason, then that's fine as well. So I'm going to modify these two. Well, I'm going to start with one, check it all works, and then modify the other one. Let's see how it goes. That went quite well. I've got two RAM packs with battery clips, and they both work, which is good. I did have, I mean, the hardest part is really getting the solder out of the holes of the RAM pack PCB once you've taken the battery out. These are the batteries, and they've got pins welded to them, and there's a tab on the back. They're quite difficult to get hold of. This one's just a normal 2032 which slides in. And the hardest part is getting the solder out of the holes on the board that these battery wires have gone into. For some reason they're difficult to get out. I've managed to do it, but it's a lot easier if you just heat the hole up, run some solid copper wire into it. That'll give you 2 pins of copper wire which you can then put the PCB on top of. Problem then is that you end up with a bit of solder and a bit of wire on this flat surface here, and that's where the battery slides in, and anything there really that gets in the way makes it difficult to fit the battery. So I've had to go at filing the solder joint down. It's a through-hole board, so it's soldered all the way through the hole, so mechanically it's okay, and that is fine, and I think that might be the way I do it. One of these I actually cut it down with a knife, which is okay, and the second one, don't know if you can see that, but that one there I actually soldered the wire from the back, so there is no solder or wire coming through on the top surface. Now it's really good from the point of view of getting the battery in and out, but mechanically it's a bit thicker, so the board raises up a little bit compared to this one that can sit a bit flatter, although that one's floating up in the air. That's the one with the wire on the back, because the wire is not holding it down, that is actually moving up and down there. I think what I'll do is take that off and redo that and file it flat like I have with this one. Other than that, it's working fine. I have had to, these clips I bought weren't surface mount, they were through hole. That's just what I could get hold of, and I've had to bend those flat, and I had to put these tabs in a vise to actually get the tabs to bend round flat enough that it didn't interfere with the case. So that was an added difficulty, but it's just something you have to do. So this one here is fine. This one's soldered down with 2 wires, and that mechanically that is fixed on fine. This one's tending to float up a little bit because the wire under there is not holding the centre of the PCB down. You can see it's moving there. Don't like that. I'll redo that and change it. Other than that, it all fits in the case. I've had to cut some of the plastic away, but they all fit in the case quite nicely, and with a battery in there as well, clip together, fit in, seem to work. So yeah, a much better battery this. It does clear the IC. Without that, you can see the IC would get in the way, so that was worthwhile doing. So I'm going to redo that one, and then I think that's it.